All right, shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work with truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like the heathens, and to the few akwaf that are listening and learning. Right, to you we say shalom. And I'm looking at the sister Renita Green. That sister be on point, man. All right. But as you can see on the comment board, it says they can't call us black no more. And I'm gonna read something that a brother sent to me. I think it was the brother Amawan Abad yesterday, and it's circled around because I reposted it, and it's circling around. And St. Benji actually spoke on it today in the video. But this is from the Times of Israel, and it said the survey did not specify what those teachings are. Talking about the Hebrew Israelites, and you heard me. They actually are referring to us as Hebrew Israelites because they can't call us black no more. Because finally, the acknowledgement of the Northern Kingdom, and that creates a dilemma because now there's more explaining to do. All right, it's just way more explaining to do. But it says members of the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem hold up canes as they dance during festivals, making the holiday Shavuot, whatever that is, with the V, a U, and an O in it, in the southern Israeli town of Dimona, Sunday, May 30th, 2010. All right, so this is an old image, but I guess they tried to find an image that looked militant, but it doesn't look militant. It just looked like they dancing, look like they stepping, like cues or something. All right, but it says the 2020 U.S. Census put the black population at 41.1 million. So exploiting from the Lifeway data, there are approximately 1.6 million Hebrew Israelites in the U.S. and that's a lot because everybody you call so-called black is for the most part are Hebrew Israelites. All right, it says not counting the small numbers of Latinos and Native Americans who also belong to Israelite groups. 7.8 million who may not identify as Israelites but agree with the spiritual movement's main teachings. If you agree with it, then you're claiming your heritage. All right. And so the truth be said, the numbers are way greater than that. And it said, and then it went on. I don't have that part shown, but it went on to say, should the Jews be worried, and how worried should they be, or something to that effect? Actually, you should, because you're exposed. First of all, you're Edomites. You are indeed Hebrew, but you're the Hebrew Edomites. That's why they're always talking about DNA. You're Jacob's brother. You're Isaac's son. Of course, you're gonna have DNA that's similar to Israelite DNA. You were the other brother. Right. Duh. All right, but that don't make you the elect, the chosen. All right, so the truth is coming out, man. There's just nothing you can do about it. Somebody grab Isaiah 34:8 there, whatever you got, let it roll.
This is Isaiah chapter 34:8. It reads, "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion."
Yeah. And so now the controversy of Zion is gone mainstream. And that's an end-day prophecy, man. That's an end-day prophecy because you're not going to no longer, you're only going to be able to play the anti-Semitic card for so much longer. So what I can perceive is going to happen, that they're so hell-bent to try to join us to Muslim groups,
white supremacy.
How you gonna do? We're the worst of the enemies to the white supremacists. Why are you trying to always link them up with us, like they're agreeing with us, like they're watching and co-signing with Kanye on things involving the Hebrew Israelites?
It's a lot. There have been attacks on Ishmael before Kanye said something. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But don't be surprised They're going to be what I perceive to be wag the dog events. You're gonna have people destroying property, like stores, like homes, like cemeteries, and things of that nature. You're gonna see things like that. Then it's gonna be blamed on, the whole anti thing, or they're gonna try to say that it's our message that's in. Our message is telling the people to wait on the Lord and just
And that's the spirit. I got this precept because they like to say we're the black equivalent to the KKK, and you can't say that. We're not out here killing anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very strict wait on the Lord, policy. No violence, no wait on the Lord, right?
That's right.
It's Hebrews 10. We got to teach, man. It's Hebrews 10 and 30. For we know him that said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, saith the Lord, and again, the Lord shall judge his people.
That's right.
So the Lord is in control of all this, man. When you go down, you better believe, you gotta know it's the Lord doing it.
That's right.
The Lord is getting a name for himself, man.
That's right.
So we ain't out here arming up. We ain't out here gathering up rope and hanging or going to fucking churches to harass fucking Jewish people. We're not doing that. Because when we was at Treasure Island, the grocery store, we was talking to the Jewish dude up in there just fine, man.
How many times?
Just fine.
Yeah, I spent the whole afternoon with some Jewish people.
It's not known.
Right.
It's actually speaking on our culture. Nothing because I know that leaves a lasting imprint. It's not like why are these niggas into this? Like why they on this stuff? Why they talking about this kosher fish?
Well, you remember in the L's when we was doing the Shemai song?
Yeah.
And the Jewish guy came and said, "Is that the Shemai prayer? That's a little different, but I understand some words." And we said, "Yeah, they'll be the real Israelites and blah blah blah." We are the scripture says the warfare of our weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You know what? We bring down scriptures. We bring down artifacts. We bring down evidence. Matter of fact, this is Psalms 85:11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Truth coming out of the earth, and these artifacts that's dispelling all your bullshit. How the hell, speaking on you mentioned the Northern Kingdom, how you going to in Puerto Rico, you got gold with Hebrew writing on it. You go into North, you got New Mexico, you got the Los Lunas stone.
And it was the Phoenician block Hebrew.
Exactly.
What we refer to as the Paleo Hebrew.
They call it the biblical Hebrew.
The Israelis call it biblical Hebrew. The scholars call it Phoenician.
That's it.
So that was the actual.
Canaanite too.
They often refer to it as Phoenician though.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Hebrew that was found here all across the Americas. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the so-called natives and Hispanics of the Americas, you actually have more hardcore relics found among them than you did among Judah. All right, it was more relics, more actual Psalms 85 and 11 among them, but yet, and the funny thing is this is a message we've been teaching all along. That this isn't a color thing. Edom, you made it about color because you've established these false narratives of identity through color.
Can I tell them what it's about real quick?
Absolutely.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts," right? So the thoughts of the Most High God, the ways of the Most High God is the supreme way. And that is what we represent. And that's what we're talking about, because that way was given to his special chosen children, the Israelites. Right. Now, right here in Baruch chapter 3 and 35, it says, "This is our God." The same God who in that Isaiah just read said that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So right here in Baruch chapter 3 and 35, it says, "This is our God, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him." So he is the supreme. His way is the supreme, right? So it's superior, right? So it says, "He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it to Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved." So that higher way, all right, is given to his special chosen children, the Israelites. Right. And here it is. This is the way that we're speaking of. This is what we represent, the way of the Most High God, which is righteousness. All right? True righteousness. Because all the other ways of man and these heathen is unrighteous ways. All right? And so this is what we're talking about. The only righteous way in the eyes of the Creator, mind you. All right? The only righteous way. This is what we're talking about. And this is the way that was given unto the Israelites. And this is the way that we want to rule. So here it is. We saying that, okay, well, white supremacists, they're saying that their way is supreme. Well, we're saying that our way is supreme.
That's right.
And because their way, you know, the video just went viral of the Polish dude harassing the soldiers.
Yeah, the
All
force.
right, and he said, "So you guys over here to basically bring some democracy."
Wow.
You know, there's an image that I actually saved to the evidence of some soldiers kicking in the door. So I'm like, "Sir, you got a moment for this democracy and freedom?" They kicking in the door with machine guns. Because that's what they kick in your door with machine guns, and then they bring you sodomy. They bring you alphabet lifestyle. They bring you your daughter twerking, your wife committing adultery. They bring you abominable foods. They bring you alphabet lifestyle to your children.
No doubt.
And this is what America and then on top of that, they take all your resources. That's what democracy and freedom brings, and that's what this citizen of Poland was harassing these U.S. soldiers following behind him. All right, and then he turned around and told and he started talking shit about Mexicans and niggas. Literally, that's the verbiage that he used. He said, "Keep Poland." He told the Jake, "Keep Poland white." But hey, but I got news for you, Mr. Polish man. You need to learn your history, man, because Poland wasn't always white, man.
Original Polish was Negro.
All right, the original Polish was Negroes too. So you know that's just it. Everything about this man is a lie.
That's right.
His whole existence. 2 Ezra 6, 27, 28.
And while they're getting it, the elder he asked the question. He said, "Why you see on the screen Phoenician alphabet, which you see the Ba, Ga, Da, how is you see the characters, right? You got the Canaanite. Now I Googled Canaanite language, and it's still what? Okay, the Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, what is the same characters, and then you go put on the Paleo Hebrew and the Aramaic.
That's 4 different names.
And that's the ancient Hebrew. That's because Esau wants to keep. He's playing. You know, he wants to keep
Semantics.
Yeah, and he doesn't want the truth to come out. That and then if these were the true Hebrew Israelites, why wouldn't they be going back when the scriptures is Zephaniah 3:9 says, "Then I will turn to you a pure language."
Yep.
Then why your language ain't pure? Why you got dots and
As a matter of fact, yeah. Why are you using the Aramaic and not this? I mean the Assyrian.
Assyrian.
Why are you using the Assyrian script, which I always got a problem with?
That's right.
And not this. This came real easy to me learning it. This came quick.
Paleo.
You know, the Assyrian I struggled with, and I think it was partly because I was in rebellion against it because I know Esau was using it. That probably was the real reason why I struggled with it in the beginning. Was because I was in rebellion against it. I was like, well, this isn't it. This is it. Why do I have to learn this?
Right. Why we gotta learn this script right here? You know, versus the script right here.
Exactly.
You know, and in the kingdom, we ain't gonna be speaking in no Assyrian.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you right now,
Assyrian
put up an Assyrian verb. That is gonna be gone.
It's right here on the screen.
All right.
This row right
can
here.
they really see it though?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I gotta click on it. Oh shoot.
Just put up one just all Assyrian script.
It's like,
Yeah, when you put up the Assyrian, you can see that the Assyrian script is gonna be done away with. That right there in the middle that you see,
this
the
right,
second row.
It's a left.
Yeah.
It's not a left. It's a la.
Yeah.
It's not be it. It's bayah.
That second row is gonna be gone. That's not gonna be and if you notice it's pure. You don't see all them dots and what you doing now?
Focal points.
Zoomed out.
BJ.
You just let them know the basics, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe.
You know, all that second row is going to be gone. There's going to be no more dots. You're not going to have the extra
vowel
the la,
sounds.
the ma, you know, the va. You're not going to have those endings. It's not going to be like that. That was unnecessary. That was actually done. That was more deception. That was done by a man named Eleazar Ben Yehudi in the late 1800s. All right, he sought. Matter of fact, you pull up some evidence, pull up some receipts on that. He sought to what he called fix the Lord's language, fix the language, revise and make the language of heaven better, because you got to understand, Hebrew is the language of heaven. That's the language that the Lord speaks. Somebody want to get the scripture to back it up, but can I get that second Ezra?
This second Ezra chapter 6 verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
And this is part of that deceit. Because right now, you got a whole group of people claiming to be these people, just like he did. And if you read his words, man, he said, oh, there's discrepancies in the ancient shit. Nigga, you wasn't back there. How was there discrepancies over 30, 40, 400, 1,000 years ago?
Could you highlight that part?
Kind of about the,
but that's what he says. He said it was discrepancies. So, no, they changed it to fit them, to fit the whole white superiority lie.
Right.
Yeah. So just like they change everything else.
And the Lord's name, the pure language, is dreadful to them, man. They can't say it because.
Grab that scripture, brother.
Yeah,
Now that you mentioned it.
I'm gonna get it for
Malachi.
And then it says and then a new language that can replace Yiddish, but it didn't, because Yiddish is all in the Hebrew that they speak. They're not speaking Hebrew. They actually are speaking a very corrupted language, and just like the definition says. Which I had the receipts. I'll read the definition. Let me find it while y'all get those scriptures.
I'll read this quote. It says, to accomplish this task, Ben Yehuda insisted. Well, let me quote a little bit. He said, what the modern Hebrew you get today, he writes by your researchers. Remember last week of the 2,000, 4,000 researchers, that contributors. This is your elites, okay? Ben Yehuda immigrated to Palestine. Oh, he's not from there. Then ruled by the Ottoman Empire and settled in Jerusalem. He's found a job teaching at the Alliance Israelite Universal School, motivated by the surrounding ideals of renovation and rejection of the diaspora lifestyle. Ben Yehuda set out to develop a new language that could replace Yiddish. It's a new, the Lord says he's going to restore to us the old language, all right?
So basically, he committed a fraud.
Yes.
So that when they speak, they have the appearance of speaking Hebrew by using the Hebrew characters, but they're speaking their own language.
That's right. And he said that that could replace Yiddish and other regional dialects as a means of everyday communication between Jews who moved to Israel from various regions of the world, meaning that your modern day Hebrew goes back to 1881, not so long ago, all right? Ben Yehuda regarded Hebrew and Zionists as symbiotic, writing the Hebrew language can only live if we revive the nation and return it to the following. That's right. To accomplish this task, Ben Yehuda insisted that the committee of the Hebrew language that, to quote the committee records, in order to supplement the deficiencies of the Hebrew language that was written thousands and thousands of
that the Hebrew language, it wasn't even written of the Israelites. It was written from heaven.
That's right.
This is the heavenly language, man, that this man changed.
That's
and
right.
you people have embraced, because the Lord, when he spoke in Hebrew tongue. In the Hebrew tongue. And look, because Pops, every time we've had the Passover the Passover celebration, Pops reads the Lord's Prayer.
That's right.
And there's a part of the Lord's Prayer that says, on earth as it is in heaven. All right. So the law, so that also kills that whole, the law is done away with, because the Lord is telling you that as it is in heaven, it shall be on earth. His rules will apply here on earth. And when is that going to happen? When he establishes the nation of Israel. So clearly, the nation of Israel has not been established. Let us look at the evidence. Man, if we was lawyers in court, man, it'd be some people going to jail right now.
And they also show you in that movie, Fourth Kind, that those angels that was plaguing them, they spoke Hebrew. Yeah. And they was like, why is these angels speaking the ancient language, And the angels speak the same language. They showed you right in the movies,
Exactly. There was another movie when
and that was based on true story. That was real thing.
Yeah, when that guy spoke the Paleo Hebrew language, the mummy was like, "Oh, the language of the
On the first month.
the language of the slave.
I got some. This is Exodus 24:12. And Yahweh said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount and be there. And I will give thee tables of stone and a law and commandments which I have written that thou mayest teach them. Do you think on them tables and tablets that was the Assyrian script?
No,
It's going to be, it was the ancient Paleo script.
In that movie, The Prince of Egypt, the cartoon version.
Yes.
At the end, it shows Moses walking with the commandments.
And it was written
with the paleo, and you see Yahweh.
See if you can find a picture of that, a still of that, if you can. Because I'm going to read this last part. It says, to accomplish this task, Ben Yehuda insisted the committee of the Hebrew languages that, to quote the committee records, in order to supplement the deficiencies of the Hebrew language, when the Lord said the Lord God was purified 7 times in the furnace. So if his words were purified 7 times, you would think that the alphabet, the Aleph Bayat, because that's even the word alphabet goes back to the Hebrew, Aleph Bayat, all right, the true word letters. And it was so cold, King David put it in Psalms 119 chapter. Every 8 scriptures started off with the particular letter of the alphabet. The first 8.
It's not 26 letters in it either.
Right, 22.
And the way that they did by adding those extra four letters, they basically tried. And what Eleazar ben Yehudi did was he actually brought in the Edomite Latin into the Hebrew and gave it those long sounds. The A, the E, the O, and the U. Those sounds were not a part of Hebrew.
That's the next phrase. The committee coins words according to the rules of grammar and linguistic analogy from Semitic roots. Is not one of the Semitic roots. The Greek is not one of the Semitic roots. The Latin. They highlight Aramaic and especially from Arabic roots, as because they threw a little bit of that in there too. All right. Yiddish is an amalgamation of Hebrew, Aramaic, Arabic, Latin, and some of the Romantic languages. But Romantic languages go back to what? Rome. And there are variations that came out of it.
And just like the soldier said, the only thing they doing is romancing is booty love. They're just a bunch of sodomites, man. But this is a definition of Yiddish. It says Yiddish, Judish, Jewish, Jew, a kind of mixed German and Hebrew language spoken by Jews and written or printed in Hebrew characters. All right. So they're saying that it's written in Hebrew characters, but it's not really Hebrew. And that's exactly what's going on today. And these people are talking about, Rosetta Stone and a Hebrew university and Hebrew school. You're going to learn a whole nother language just written in Hebrew characters. That would be just like if we took we took the numbers 1 through 10 and gave them sounds and then and created a language from them.
Right.
That's basically what you took the numbers 1 through 10 or 1 through 22, all right, and gave each number a sound. And then you spelled out your words with the letters like that. That's basically what they did.
And just making them new shit.
So that's why it says that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
That's right. And introducing Jew belief. You know what I'm saying? Which is a fucking homosexual festival in Israel. When according to the Torah,
that's in New York. The Jubilee is in New York.
Okay.
Pink
television. Okay, kind. Okay, so it's same difference, but kind of specificity.
Which goes back to the scripture.
Matter of fact, somebody grab that Ashdod.
But
whatever y'all got, bring him out. Keep coming.
But that's still wicked as fuck, man.
Oh yeah, it's still a mockery of the actual high holy day.
Because that's the Jubilee is actually a high holy day. That's right. And the eradication of your debts, so that you won't have people standing in debt for years and years and years and years. They honor that shit, but then they holding us. And taking our homes and taking everything that we got.
I got this real quick while I get in the Bible scripture. This is Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, because it's just going back into what the Elder Malcolm was saying earlier when he said, should they be scared? Of course they should be scared. Is it because of violence? No. It's because of the prophecy. They didn't expect us to even get any of this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It said, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And this ultimately goes into the chariots, but this is so far beyond all what they look for. They didn't expect us to know the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They did, going into what the Ben Yehudi, all right, going into the Bible destruction group, and so much more. Countless amount of time and countless amount of money was spent by this self-proclaimed white man to separate us from our heritage. Right. So you'll only have to know that this movement is spiritual, going into Revelations, all right, when he said the two prophets tormented the earth, the spirit of life. The Lord sent us a comforter, and he said, lo, I be with you even to the end of the earth. And this is what the self-proclaimed white man is seeing with us coming back into this heritage.
Can I buy you how are you going to have, how are you going to have an event take place on earth where you have three so-called nationalities of people, so-called blacks, so-called natives, and so-called Latinos, all singing the same song, all saying that they've been denied their heritage, and then pointing it out in the Bible, and then you want to say it's a conspiracy, all right? Well, in a land that was supposed to be based upon biblical principles. But it's funny how America is such a Christian society, except for when it comes to the prophecies.
That's right.
Everything, it's like to hell with the prophecies. What about the prophecies in the Bible, man?
That's right.
When it talks about Ezekiel 37, the Great Awakening, man. What do you think that's all about? Go ahead, brother.
This is
about Ronald Dalton.
This is First Maccabees 1. I'm gonna do 38 and then go into your the one in Zechariah. But we got First Maccabees 1 and 38. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made in the habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. So the Israelites during that siege was out of there. Okay, they had to flee from Roman persecution. So those people that are over there now aren't the people that the scriptures spoke of.
That's right.
Those people aren't the ones that the Lord had brought out of Egypt and walked them around for 40 years and this, that, and the other.
And it coincides with that Obadiah when he said that how the foreigners came and entered our gates and took us away captive, and we became strangers. Now, going to Psalms 83, which I'm holding, verse 3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. The true Israelites are hidden, just like Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, when it says, an ox knoweth his owner, and ass his master's crib, but my people doth not know, they do not consider. All right? They're not thinking that they're Israelites. So the real biblical Israelites will be someone who don't know that they're Israelites collectively, and then they'll be following what? The ways of the different cultures, the ways of the different heathens. You'll find a nigga wearing a daishiki. You find a nigga wearing the whole
nigga in the Amish community.
Come on, bro.
Hey.
With the cut off his mustache and having a big ass beard, man.
At least he has some snow.
Even worse,
Yeah, man.
That's the best thing he can have. Yeah.
Might have two.
These niggas, they fall out. They'll fall
acknowledge multiple lives.
No, it's all good. These niggas, they'll follow Amakat and Judas and shit. They think they not the real.
That nigga Sean did it. That nigga Sean did it. And you know, all the New York niggas that been cut by the apostles or the elders in some shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, Stoudemire, all them niggas, like the elder Southside Mike, the elder nigga, I'm going into it, man. These niggas are really, you will tell these niggas they're a real Israelite, they'll go act like a fake Israelite. That's the worst one.
Yeah.
You right. He was on this for the elder.
This Zechariah 9-6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Right, and then that word bastard, one of the synonyms to it is a couple synonyms to it is fraudulent, fake, and phony. I actually have a 1933 thesaurus,
Mm-hmm.
and under bastard, all those words are right there with it. It said so if you were writing a paper and you wanted to use
A similar
not
word.
use the word bastard, you could put phony, fraudulent, or fake right in there. Hence the reason why we call them the fake JEWs, because they are.
The Ishmael.
All right, the issues.
If I can,
Those converts going back to John Hyrcanus.
and this is the Hebrew word for bastard, mamazar, or they go mamzar or mamazar. Yeah, mamzar, right there.
Yeah, they
Bastard,
are using that word.
right. Bastard. They'll say child of incest, an illegitimate child. Bastard, mixed population. Then they go off.
There's no such thing as mixed people, so they're going off right there.
Yep. And then it says from an unused meaning to alienate a mongrel. All right, which the pure definition would be someone who is born of an un-Israelite man. All right, if it's not if any Israelite man in the lineage is an Israelite. Anything else outside of that, any of the Chinese, get with the Hebrew woman, or Edomite with the Hebrew woman, or anybody Chinese with the Japanese woman, or whatever the hell, the scripture they'll go into what the scripture said: an infidel, a bastard.
Like that
And he said not to have any. I just want to hit the infidel point. He said not to have any dealings with the infidel. It says 2 Corinthians 6:15. In what concord has Hamashiach with Belial, or what part have he that believeth with an infidel? If you're not a Hebrew Israelite, you're an infidel. And if you're a Hebrew Israelite but you're not following Yahushua, you're an infidel too. You got it, Pops.
Okay. Speaking of what you were saying, when that Egyptian son, because it was of an Israelite mother, but had an Egyptian father, spoke ill of Yahweh Shai, took the name in vain. They didn't hesitate to do what they need to do.
That's it. And why on the screen? I got it on the screen. Now you see the background here. Now this is on the wall, but right here you can see it on the screen. Why you have all this in silhouette? This was intentional. See how they have the highlights back there? The sun, they could have lit this up, but if you look at this and it's in you zoom in on it, this is it's the Paleo Hebrew. All right, and that's how Esau throw it in the movies. It's hard for you to see it on that one, but you can see it on the actual screen. But why did they do that? Because they're trying to hide the truth. But this is more evidence of truth springing forth, man.
Oh, okay.
I got a precept. This is Isaiah 44:5. It says, "One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Period.
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel."
It's just why you got all these people coming back. Oh, Uriah Banya Hawada, Banya Shrala. All right, we got these people calling themselves, going back to ancient Yahweh, putting Yahs at the end of their name, or going to put the power Allah at the end of the name of Allah. All right, things of that nature. And that's evidence of us coming back to our history. All right, he didn't see we're going to come back to a Yiddish name. He didn't see we're coming back to an Assyrian name, Ben Eliezer Yehuda. You know what I'm saying? There's no E's in Hebrew. There's no O equivalents in Hebrew. There's no V equivalents in Hebrew, and a couple other ones that no U equivalents in Hebrew. That's all a part of the added additions that was added by Ben Eliezer and company. All right.
It's funny because you say that, and it's like, you got IUIC. All of them can have Israelite names, but then they'll say they don't know the name of the son of the father.
The elders said that Bishop Nate, they referred to him back in the school as Nathaniel Alaga. So why did he change it to just Bishop Nathaniel?
Hot dog Nate.
You know what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna change it to Nathaniel? That's madness, man. And you got some of them will say Yahweh, then someone will be like a Yiddish name. That's confusion, man.
Israel.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. What the fuck is Yisrael?
That shit be
What's up, Aki? I know. Hey, what's up, Aki? Yo, come on, we Israelites. nigga.
I got scripture for you. This is this.
And so, like, for the record, we're not Israelites. We're Yasharala Yum by the pure Hebrew. We just use those other titles for teaching's sake, man.
Right.
Because we don't refer to ourselves as the so-called Jews, man. Because that would only be one tribe, all right, and loosely three if you talk about the Southern Kingdom. Because we did, according to the scriptures, refer to the whole Southern Kingdom sometimes as the land of Judah, and say, okay, they the Jews, all right? But where's the other 11 tribes at? Where the other 10 tribes at?
Exactly.
This is from the Ecclesiasticus prologue. Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language.
Excuse me?
Their own language.
So if we are not speaking in our own language, we don't
have the force.
We don't got no power.
Exactly.
All right. The Most High is not drawing off of Christ. Most High and Christ blessed. Most High is not called. I mean, but that sounds stupid. I stumbled just to say it.
Hey. Oh, he's drawn. They're gonna be drawing a wrath for that shit.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, that dude. I mentioned it yesterday. He went from doing one of the most epic, prolific, epic breakdowns of Yahweh Shai that I've ever seen, because I remember watching it, going back about 15, 16 years
growing
ago.
up in the trade.
In 2006, I was watching the Hebrew Israelite videos. Yeah. I was watching, and he was Nathaniel, and I was watching the videos with him and Barak Shah. All right, and he did one of the most prolific breakdowns to this day, still. All right, and now all of a sudden, he got a conch. It looked like he didn't put relaxer in his beard.
I'm straighter than the goddamn Edomites here, man.
And even more, and what's the worst part about it, that he's no longer teaching the name.
Con.
This guy, we keep saying it. This guy is clearly a hireling.
Absolutely.
Right, and because it's funny how he always gets ends up in front of a camera, but never mentions Yahweh, never mentions Yahweh Shai, and never mentions Esau either.
Every time.
Never. And the same thing with Yohanan.
But he'll say Christ 14,000 times in that whole episode.
But his crew can show up and march around the Barclays Center for fucking Kyrie.
But it's funny that all the men and where they videos at.
Man,
but here's the thing.
You know what? Because all those men, they're not built up enough to even do videos.
Right. Con.
Right? They just there.
It's funny you say that, because one of my lady
they're a non-functioning army, man.
One of my little lady friends I was talking to, when I met off of that, right? She didn't know I'm Israel. I didn't say nothing about Israel. We were just talking, and I said a couple things about this God, period. She's like, well, I believe that, I don't know what you believe, but I believe I'm an Israelite. I've been listening, studying about them, and I start chuckling. I said, you don't even know who you're talking to. I said, that's all I'm into. And so we end up start talking on that. She said that leaving it, put it in the kitchen, put it put it on the table, and then put him in his cage, because he's doing the most. All right. And so long story short, I was like, well, how did you learn that you was an Israelite? She said, I was listening to one of my friends. She followed IUIC, and I would kick it with her and her family, whatever. And she was like, what group are you in? I said, I'm part of the most hated group. She said, what? She said, what? GMS? I said, yes. She said, man, why don't everybody hate y'all? You know what I'm saying? And I said, because that's the truth. And so I started asking her questions. I said, why don't you deal with IUIC? She said, well, I'll ask them questions about the Sabbath, and they'll just say, this is because it's what it is. But they won't break it down. So what is it? She'll start asking me questions, and I'm bringing scripture, just like, oh, that makes sense. But everything she was talking to them wasn't making sense, because they'll just talk surface shit and say this is what it is and run with it because they are parrots. They hear whatever Nate and their eldership speak and they just regurgitate that shit. All right, but they don't go do due diligence. They don't go into the scriptures. They don't break it down and really edify the flock. That's why they're not teaching.
They're not capable of teaching.
They can't.
Like you said, because you know that's why you see the same few when they do put up a video. It's the same few men that speaking. You know, it's the same thing with ISUPK. It'd be the same dudes screaming on the microphone, and the same dudes in the background standing post screaming, "That's right."
He ain't even the reader. He just no disrespect.
Right. Yeah, he ain't even read. He's the that's right.
He that's right. He ain't got no that shit.
The Flavor Flav hype man.
Exactly.
I actually watched someone ask me, man, get stumped out 2/3 and shit. Asking a question, getting stumped, man.
That's right.
And looking stupid as fuck.
Well,
simple ass question.
I wouldn't be shocked. But 2/3 asked him a question they couldn't even answer.
They couldn't even answer.
Well, that's because we got the spirit of the Lord and they don't. The scriptures say the Lord gonna give us a mouth that they can't gainsay nor resist.
Mouth and wisdom.
Right. You know, then the scriptures also say be ready to give a man an answer. If somebody asks you a question, you gotta be able to give them an answer according to the scriptures, man. And only the men of the Lord can do that.
Exactly.
You know, and that's why you don't all around the world you don't see brothers getting stumped because the spirit of the Lord is on them. Right?
Undefeated, nigga.
You know, hey, zero losses, all wins.
And the Lord will give it to you right there sometimes.
On the spot, absolutely.
Going back to that, because I was gonna bring it out when the elder brother Lyle made a point. He said the Lord will give you a wisdom which you be able to not gainsay nor resist. And the scriptures say you gotta be able to teach. That's why I say be diligent, man. Hey, you have to study to show yourself approval, workman of God, man. This is training, man.
Needed not to be ashamed.
And we know exactly, needed not to be. All them niggas are ashamed. Say that again, that part.
Yeah, it says it needed not to be ashamed.
You niggas are ashamed, man. Not only you clowns out there getting stumped, you know, because that's what's even worse is you niggas who boots just not lace. They just right there. 800 niggas, and like the elder Malcolm brought out, he been bringing this out. Y'all can't produce 3 videos a week, man.
They can't do one.
They can't do one. Yeah, done.
But like you said, but they can walk around that Barclays Center and try to back Kyrie, but he turned around and gave the Muslims $60,000 and whatnot to distance himself from the Israelites. I ain't with them.
On the orders of Esau.
Exactly.
Right. No, he did that on his own volition. That nigga Kyrie is a piece of shit.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right. Go to Esau.
There's images of him throwing up the all CNI thing, the damn pyramid.
That nigga ends his Twitter with Hala, HEL lady, which is the goddess of death. Then he put a bunch of idolatrous symbols underneath.
Wow.
And nigga's a piece of shit. He said he's is it omnius? Whatever it is, he's into all religions. Yeah. After he quoted that Hebrew Negroes book, he made it clear that he's basically with the coexist shit. Fuck Kyrie, he been a piece of shit. He left Cleveland. Any fucking.
Well, but you know what? But and more than likely he's gonna die as a 2/3 hit.
Absolutely.
In Babylon. But the Lord used him to get this thing going. All right.
To take the cloak away.
Same way he used Kanye, which I believe is gonna come up dead sooner or later.
I mean, if you go back into antiquity, well, they dispelled the Israelites. You know, you had a lot of zealots, right? Who they don't try to take matters into their own hands because they were sick and tired of the Roman shit.
And that's what they're trying, and that's what Esau's trying to inspire and hoping to happen, so that he can respond.
Right.
All right. So he's gonna create. Hey, because just like he has his paid opposition to teach a false message, don't think that he can't, pay one of the pull-up camps, to just put on some garments and some
bulletproof vests,
some bulletproof vests with some garments and some military fatigues on, and get it caught on camera shooting some shit up, and it's just like this whole thing with Alex Jones and Alex Jones spoke a lot of truth, he spoke a lot of. He was full of shit on a lot of things too, but he did spend a whole lot, speak a lot of truth, man. So and the fact is that there truly are what you would call conspiracies. What you would call conspiracy. there really are events that are premeditated and done so that they can put forth legislation and things of that nature. Hell, America went into a whole war based on a false flag event and a lie. There was never any weapons of mass destruction on a country that didn't have anything to do with the so-called 9/11.
That's right.
All right.
I said MO. They did it with
All right.
World War II. They did it with Vietnam.
Yeah, and then with 9/11, it's just so everything's a coincidence, man. It just so happens that the insurance policies were taken out.
Yeah.
And then all these people were caught with sitting on their rooftops and on their balconies with cameras rolling and all the cameras caught the event at the time that it happened, right? It happened, and they were celebrating and cheering. I guess that was just all made up, though, right?
It's funny though. Y'all say that just 9/11. Hell, you go all the way back to Pilgrims and the whole scenario. Didn't they put on fucking the garb of the Boston Tea Party and the whole deal? So that's their MO. That's their MO.
And you know what? A lot of Gadites got scalped,
behind
burned,
that,
and hung after that too.
That's right.
All right. A lot of so-called natives were burned, hung, and killed behind that false flag event, which was done by so-called white men. So America's very inception was basically started with the false flag event.
That's right.
With an event that was falsified and pushed in the media. All right. And probably would have stayed that way had not they revealed their hand. It was already revealed, so they had to put it in the history books.
I got a precept real quick. This is Acts 24:5. It says, "For we have found this man a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of Nazarenes," showing you just the same way that they came against the prophets and the apostles and Yahushua in the past, the same way that they're going to do today, man. You go into the book of Acts, it showed you how brothers like Paul was locked up for no reason for a very long fucking time.
That's
man.
right.
And even put to death for things that they did, for lies.
Yeah, not only him, but multi-apostles, Peter and where the angels had to come and loose their chains and open up the gates. While the Lord did a whole lot of miracles at that time, which is the same thing the Lord's going to do now. He's going to give men power. He's going to start. They're going to come. The scripture says when they come in like a flood. All right, that's when somebody get that real quick. When they come in like a flood, the first one get it, read it. That's Esau is going to come in. He's going to, and if you read that flood, follow the precept of the flood coming in. It's when they send them troops in, when they send them nations in, they put them armies in to try to go stop and regulate, all right, and take shit down.
I got one for you. This Acts 17:5 to back up, what Lahab said and what the brothers are going into.
After that, can you read Acts 18:1?
The spirit, kind of. Perfect. It's Acts 17:5. I got that on deck too, Elder. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the basest sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people. So the people disagreed. And what happened, there was uproar, man. It was chaos down the street. They made a big issue about it because they didn't want to believe the truth. They wasn't found lewd fellows. These niggas didn't give a fuck about nothing. They didn't care about no deep knowledge, man.
What we doing?
Regulars. Hey, we was teaching on state Van Buren. They brought the one nigga that was supposed to be beating our ass. The first day came out there, we called him the chief keep nigga. He finally got them paws put on his ass. But anyway, they went and got that nigga to try to intimidate us.
Right.
All right, and that's a small, a small fraction of what they really want to do. All right, but listen, they did. They went and got some base niggas, got a whole uproar going.
Hiring lewd fellows, the same thing as hiring crisis actors.
Just for teaching the word. Just for teaching the word. In fact, the one time they said to Paul, "You're not that Egyptian that gathered up 4,000 murderers."
That's right.
What are you talking about?
That's right. That's why Gamaliel said leave these men alone because they're not this one group of people came and suborned a whole bunch of men. And what happened? They fell off. See, you can't disrail the real men of the Lord because we are not in our own vibration. We're following Yahweh.
And you know what? The thing about that is that was Israelites doing that. That was niggas.
Right.
And they back.
Yeah.
They back right now.
That's the same ones
working for Esau.
Yep. This Acts 18:1. This ended up happening because of that. Acts 18:1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his let him be, bro. And found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. So eventually, the Israelites, the Jews, we got kicked out of Rome, man. It was too much. This truth is coming out, and on that, Yahushua, he gained a lot of disciples that followed him and believers through his works. So you couldn't deny that. You couldn't deny the evidence that was there. All right, and they got mad, man. Jake coming against them, then Esau is worried, like, what the fuck going on? They finna uprise against us. You got people actually trying to do some dumb shit. What Yahushua made it clear.
And that's what they were complaining about over in the land of Israel. When I was reading reading and listening to that Israeli report from the Israel Times, they were talking about the aggressive street teaching.
Right.
Because it really comes down to us, and they don't want to mention us by name.
Exactly.
They don't want to
draw more attention.
They don't want to draw that kind of attention to the great millstone.
Why they got rid of
And then the reason why all these Jake system woke up, really hate the great millstone, because first of all, we're the biggest group. All right, we're the only group that's set up by the Lord, and of course our offshoots.
That's right.
All right, and secondly, you just can't be any old way. You actually have to be in order and follow, the laws, statutes, commandments, and do things. And we require certain things, and we don't teach a woman-friendly doctrine. We actually, because of these other groups, because they want the money that the women give them and gifts and whatever, they teach a woman-friendly doctrine. We don't teach a woman-friendly doctrine. We teach the law. The women that's going to be with it is going to be with it. All right? We come rough, rugged, and raw.
Raw and uncut.
We teach a woman-friendly doctrine. We don't teach a bitch-friendly doctrine.
Exactly. There you go.
That's much better said.
That's it.
Right? We don't teach a bitch-friendly doctrine, and that's the thing. These women want to be in the truth and still be bitches and hoes.
Yeah.
They want to be in the truth and still hold on to the Christian values. They want to be in the truth and still think that they're equal to or above a man. And you're not.
They're trying to hokey pokey. Left foot in, left foot out. Shit.
They want right. Because IUIC, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that they teach a man can only have one wife.
Yeah.
All right. Now, and which is a complete and total lie. Now, it's probably wise to have one wife in this society. All right, because we are under Esau's law system, and it's kind of hard to maneuver. But it's not going against the Most High at all in any way whatsoever for any brother that decides he wants to do that. And actually, the truth be said, life would be easier.
It would be.
If for both the women and the men, if they got together in that fashion. But see, Esau was the one who pushed that monogamy for the simple fact that he was afraid that we would populate even faster than we already were. Right? Because Jake can constantly get his woman pregnant, and Esau has problems. Right? So now you're gonna take this fertile, BBC nigga and give him 2-3 women, all right? Yeah. Every time you see
him, and then oppress him.
So and Esau will have a problem with that. So that whole and then he pushes monogamy, which he can't do and never have, and he's never been able to uphold that. Look at America with the divorce rates and all the other the adultery and all the damn diseases and shit. All right, he's never been. He pushed that monogamy, and then he didn't even follow it himself. Right, he tried to force it onto you. Meanwhile, he the rich playboy trying to be Hugh Hefner in this one, right?
Or fruitcake, or a pedo.
All that other stuff
above.
too. Exactly. He said, I want my wife and my lover.
I got the.
He want to give pipe and take pipe.
Exactly.
He confused.
Wow. Hey, but it's funny you said it.
You remember that scene in Spartacus?
Exactly.
I'm about the climax.
Place cocking ass.
Place cocking ass. That's what he told his he got a slave watching him bone abroad, and when he about to bust, he tell
that shit sick as hell.
That was some sick shit, man.
Absolutely.
That fucked me up. He was like, I'm about to climax.
But that's their
cocking ass.
That's
So
the next
why-
one. And that's exactly why that Polish dude said, y'all coming over here to bring y'all sodomy.
Exactly.
There you go.
Y'all got a homo agenda.
That's right. That, and Russia just made a new law banning a whole bunch of that LB alphabet stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that's how divided Esau Edom is. Even though Poland is
Well, that's
against
what happened in World War II with Germany, right prior to World War II. You know, Hitler pushed all that. You know, I got to be careful with my words here, but
Right.
Propaganda.
But all that down.
But Hitler got rid of all the porn and you know and all that stuff, and then all those bars where all that sort of activity went on, because his history shows Germany was like Sodom and Gomorrah. Bestiality, you know, alphabet lifestyle, all that shit was going on.
Right.
And Hitler wanted that shit out, away from his people and out of there. And it just so happens that the proprietors and the owners of those businesses were all a certain group of people. And that group of people then declared war against Hitler. And there we go.
That's
This is
Just leave that alone.
3 days ago, Russian parliament passed this law banning the alphabet community propaganda. That's just 3 days ago. They just made a new law banning.
Fuck
I
that
think
shit.
China did something similar too.
Of course.
They just leaked a conversation of one of the shows on Disney. She's like the producer, and she said, "Well, they're not stopping me put my agenda, so I put it in there everywhere I can."
And then if you go to the community too.
And she said, ain't nobody stopping me, so I put a gay kiss, a gay here, a gay here. And she said, Disney not stopping me, so I'm gonna just keep on with my agenda. So and she said it
Because they down with it.
They leaked the whole video because it was like a Zoom, and they leaked it out to show people that Disney's really on there. Yeah, they had a show on Disney called Shizo, man, which is really a tranny. It's a dude who gets superpowers when he turns into a girl, and then later on in the season, shit bugged out. And later on in the season, it's a girl who gets superpowers when she turns into a boy. It's about transgenderism and making it cool and like that to be a.
So he got superpowers when he turned into
a girl.
Yo, they got super.
His hair, he get long hair. He got makeup on his face, all type of shit. And the girl, she get all masculine and brawly, like a boy, man.
Well, they got Superman's son.
Shout out to the
Bye, no.
son.
But they had Supergirl being by, because I was watching the Supergirl series, whatever, and she started kissing and doing, and just like watching fucking Empire, and then seeing the whole, they putting in every Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, Captain Marvel, yeah.
And first of all, she wasn't a female originally, it was a man. You go back to the original Captain Marvel was a man.
Dude, that's right.
Just like, but this is Esau.
I used to draw them all the time when I was a shorty.
That's crazy. And it's funny because we did the same thing. We get the whole Marvel Universe packet and start coloring all drawing all the art, all the different superheroes. And Captain Marvel's, if you look at his powers compared to like Superman and all the
he was shit.
They got the powers where they're basically unstoppable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he was shit.
Yeah, Captain Marvel was like a Superman or Shazam. He was probably one of the only heroes that could actually go hit.
You know? That's it.
You know they did it Black Panther Wakanda Forever at the end.
I was gonna say that.
They kissed a girl on the ball.
Wait, the new movie?
Yeah, the new movie. And then they had a transvestite walking across walking the base. So basically put sodomite shit.
Yeah, they had to throw it in there somewhere.
They were trying to put it in the first one. It was an outrage that they didn't put it in the first one because two of the characters, I think like the general, somebody, the couple that they had in the first one, when they were warring against each other, they were really supposed to be a gay couple. But they, it was an outrage that they didn't make them a gay couple because all this goddamn alphabet agenda.
Well, let me tell you this, man. I grew up, reading Marvel characters, the Marvel universe. I never really was a DC type guy. DC was kind of nerdy.
DC is gay.
But I grew, except some of the main ones, Batman.
Superman, right.
But nevertheless, from all the times that I was reading the comic books, when I was a young man, a child, and growing up, it wasn't no alphabet lifestyle.
None.
All right. There wasn't any.
None.
When men got with women and women got with men. It wasn't none of that weird stuff.
Right.
All right. Just saying. So that's a new agenda that's being pushed.
And guess what? When the Lord come back, this shit ain't gonna be here either.
That's
No,
right.
right.
That's
Because the
it.
earth is given into the hands of the wicked. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it since I said it.
Yeah.
It was the thing I saw going viral. It was talking about the World Cup, the thing that's going on.
Oh yeah.
And that the woman couldn't get. They're not allowing any type of alphabet gang thing going on in there. Like if you win a rainbow type anything, they're taking that stuff. Like no, you're not.
You can't come in. You ain't pushing that in here.
Right, basically.
Good. Thank you. Damn.
Qatar, right? Where the radio is.
Huh?
You talking
Yep,
about it's
yep.
Qatar radio.
Yep. That's where it
This is Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces and the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" So, you have to ask yourself, well, who's behind all these things? Who covered up all the and the reason why, Edomites are so angry and so hurt, because it was your people that covered up all the judges, that covered up all the faces of real history. They have a problem when you find out that the Vikings weren't white. All right, when they find out that the Irish and the Scots weren't white, that the Germans and the Polish. I'm sorry, man, you weren't the Europeans. All right.
Take all
Matter
that.
of fact, Benji, could you grab that letter from Ben Franklin and just read that portion, the 24th paragraph
The tongue.
of that the 24th paragraph of that observations of humanity or something it's called. Just read it real quick. See, because you just you people are liars, man. And so that somebody get that veil, the veil
Covering cut.
You also get that
Covering
covering
cut.
cherub, the cherub that covers, get that one too. All right, you constantly covering up and hiding the truth, and now when it comes out, it's hurtful because you're ashamed and embarrassed. Just like the owner of the Dallas Cowboys got popped off
For being in one of the crowds.
being one of them racist
Segregated crowd.
That's why they hate the CRT, the critical race historical facts.
That's right.
Because when you start pulling up these images, and he's
You're
old,
in it.
so that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see your great uncle. You're gonna see your grandfather, your grandmother. You're gonna see your own family members.
Yep.
That's why they don't want those
Did you
images.
say this before though?
I said it many
Absolutely.
times. You're gonna have some little kid be like, that's Nana. Yeah, that's your grandma.
That's right.
Throwing that brick at that little black girl.
If you go look at this, is 2022. If you go back, there's still people living that was part of the Great Depression in 1935 and 1930s. There's people who are still 100 years old who was about a part of all that.
In those
Jerry
pictures
Jones,
with those
that's his
hangings.
name.
That's right.
Jerry Jones.
Right?
That's
They
right.
were at some of those hangings and some of those barbecues and all that sort of. They were there.
Yeah, as young teenagers and this, that, and the other. Now,
Well, then the offspring of them that was, they got taught that mindset.
exactly. Absolutely. Talk that.
Just
Go
make
ahead.
a point, Shimon.
I was gonna say the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, they just showed him in a picture protesting, when they were in the great
Doing the segregation thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I was in the crowd. What the fuck you harassing?
And they defended him. He was a curious teenager.
Exactly. That's what they said. That's the bullshit.
But Bill Cosby get locked up for some shit that happened.
On hearsay.
Right.
And stuff that didn't have no proof.
And then nobody cried out 30 years ago. Now you would cry out 30 years later.
Yeah.
And the scripture
Yeah,
says
you
you don't
just-
cry out right then and there.
Right.
There was no problem.
You was taking to put it.
Come on, man.
Hey.
It wasn't no problem. It wasn't Jello.
It was Jello put that in. It was Jello put. It was Jello put that in. It was not Jello put. They don't want to deal with Bill Cosby. They didn't want to deal with the fact that he was like one of the first.
Well, you know what? He pissed him off.
Right, he pissed him off.
He tried to buy ABC a second time. They had already won him the first time.
Right.
But he tried to buy it again, and he wanted to put on, the Huxtables again. He wanted to put on that type of
Some wholesome stuff.
He
He was a so-called wholesome.
you know what? He just had that unction, not according to righteousness.
Exactly.
I got that
But,
Franklin for you.
But Bob Kashai.
I'll get to the point, which leads me to add one remark that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. So the natives are tawny. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally what we call a swarthy complexion.
Okay, let's stop it right there. We did it before. Let's do it again. Somebody grab the definition of swarthy. You get about, a couple different, all right, different references. Matter of fact, that's 3 references. So we can start there. Get the definition of swarthy a couple different places, Bob Shot.
And here's over in Europe that Ben was talking about how the from Belgium to French to
name them again.
Coat of arms.
Okay. In Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes are generally what we call a swarthy complexion.
Swedes. Now, I'm telling the people that claim the ones that been the Vikings, but Benjamin Franklin just said that they were all swarthy.
As are the Germans also.
And the Germans also.
Coat of arms.
So when Rome fell, niggas took over Europe.
Absolutely.
The same niggas that took Rome down. The slaves and the gladiators, your servants that were in the military, they were the ones who took over and became the new ruling class people all throughout Rome. It's the reason why the so-called white man came back with such a vengeance during the Renaissance and when he enacted slavery again. Because he now got to get his revenge on the people that took down his precious Rome. All right, but go ahead, give that definition, brother, then you finish that.
This is swarthy, dark skin. That was pretty much it. The synonyms was like dark skin, dark complexion, tan, black, olive skin.
And olives are black or so-called green. I ain't never seen somebody
with green.
Green skin. Ain't no green skin, nobody.
Ain't no marshes, motherfucker. Ain't no marshes.
Yeah, he so love to come with that olive complexion.
Ain't no marshes. Ain't no marshes, motherfucker.
I seen black olives, bitch.
You got
You know what I'm saying?
Swarthy going back to SWAT. Old English SWAT, black, dark, wicked, infamous, dark color, dirty, dark, black. The true Germanic word surviving in the continental language, but displaced in English by black. Of skin color of persons from the late
screenshot that and send that to the that goes into the evidence, folks.
That's why they want that black Israelite shit.
Another thing they trying to do,
it goes to prove that Salaki, brother. It just goes to prove that we always tell you when you put the word black before anything, it's like black people. You're saying that they're dirty people, that they're wicked people, that they're evil people. That they're right, so that's why we tell you that all that black is beautiful. No, that's that you falling for the bullshit.
That's it.
Because what it said was the whole world is melanated, except for Esau Edom.
Exactly.
That's the spirit. Yeah, because now they trying they damage to change the definition of melanated. Oh, we got a little in it, so it's melanated. No, your ass is not melanated because you're dying of sunburns in the land of Israel.
That's right.
Cancel, baby.
Matter of fact, the 2 places where they don't belong. The three places that has the highest rate of skin cancer due to the sun is Israel, South Africa, and Australia.
Damn!
Right? and you know what? In that order. Israel, South Africa, Australia.
And for the record, they do have a little melanin, which is why they need dead.
Right.
All right. And the thing is, they're not us. That's still leprosy. The albinoism, you get the so-called the real actual Israelites who have been scattered abroad. You'll see that blonde hair with the blue eyes. Right. I'm thinking about that one series that they had. The
Black Lightning.
Right. Yeah, Black Lightning with the villain, and he's a true albino. He looks he's a clean leper. Yep. Esau Edomites are clean lepers.
Absolutely.
And I hate that witchcraft they do, saying, oh, they can't be from the Arab area because it's the Middle East. That's no, the white people can't be. No, nigga, they were living there since the fucking beginning of time, just like any other albino.
That's why they hid in the caves.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's why they made it. Yeah. This dude was smooth. Tobias was the smoothest villain ever. He was cool as hell, man.
So like the word is melanated, just like alienated, meaning you completely melanated, man. Like you Edomites fucking pale, man.
That's right. All right. But go ahead and finish that, Saint Benjamin.
All Africans black or tawny, Asia chiefly tawny, America exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so, and in Europe, the Spaniards.
Who are those newcomers? So-called white people. Well, go ahead.
The Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are all generally of what we call a swarthy complexion.
So there you go. All of the Germans, the Swedes, the Russians, the French, all those people were black. Go ahead.
As are the Germans also.
And the Germans.
Come on, man.
The Saxons only accepted which is allowed, but they took over that land. You know?
And the identity, calling themselves Anglo-Saxons, which mean angel sons of Isaac. You and not
You're not that They took over everything because they call themselves the Scots, they call themselves Irish, they call themselves Polish. They're just
thieves.
Yeah, you just Edomites, man. Ain't nothing that look. That shit where it started where it is. You the goddamn devil, man.
That's right. You a thief.
You the motherfucking Edomites, man.
A fucking thief.
You're the counterfeits.
Idumeans, and going back to the what's made this one artifact of receipt that's been coming back week from weekly the last couple of weeks. Jewish Encyclopedia and the almanacs and so forth. The one people saying Esau Edom is Jewry, and the other one saying that
this and all that came from their own people.
Their own
and plus all the other books, man. So your own scholars and your own people that said this hundreds of years ago, man. All right.
But it wasn't hurting them the way it's hurting them now.
Now you disrespecting, or discounting all your own scholars, man. But go ahead, finish
the Saxons only accepted who, with the English, make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. That was really the point.
So that was the point, man. And so now they just lied about everything. They covered the face of the judges there. Can I get that Isaiah 25:7 and the covering the chair?
I can get it right now. This Ezekiel 28 and verse 14. It said, "Thou art the anointed cherub that covered, and I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Yahweh. Thou walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire." So he been covering from the beginning.
That's right.
From the beginning, this man has been the devil, man. The anointed cherub that covered.
That's right.
The Lord gave him the power to confuse you.
That's right. That was the whole job of Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. They're some of their first jobs, the first things that they were given to orders by the bourgeois was to go throughout Europe and repaint and remake, all the images in the churches.
Whitewash that shit.
All these churches and all these cathedrals we taking over from these niggas. We gotta change it. So they started repainting everything. And they even got a blasphemous statue of a pale white man that's grown with a child infant penis. He got the nerve to say that this is David.
Hell, they got
he grew up with the rest of them.
They got sculptures on their buildings on the outside where you see a fucking priest with a kid right there.
Right in his crotch, yeah.
In his crotch area. What the hell you think he doing there? He ain't asking for a blessing.
But they actually have some.
Nah, he promised him candy.
They got some, but the child is actually going wrong.
Hey, practicing fellatio.
Why isn't these statues knocked down? Why is the statues ain't being talked about over the news?
He gonna be exposed. I mean, he is getting exposed.
Yeah, absolutely. We talking about it.
Basically, all Esau got left. Get that Isaiah 25:7.
I got it.
Who I got?
This is Isaiah 25:7. And it reads, it says, "And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations."
So there it is, man. And the veil that is spread over all nations, man. He and the Lord used the men of the great millstone to do that. All right, that's what the whole 12 tribe, because guess what's on the back of the 12 tribe chart? The other side is all the nations.
17.
Right? The other 17 nations are identified. They're biblical identities, man. All right, so that's been unveiled. We know who's who.
That's it. We know who gonna be the ruling class, and we know all 17 nations. They got to deal with that 1,000 years of hardcore.
That's right.
Hardcore, and believe me, it's gonna be hardcore.
You deserve every bit of it too.
Every ounce of it. That's it. As they say, Bring out the triple beam. We measuring it all the way down to the fucking minute.
Yeah. Hey, and they trembling, just like you go to the book of Acts. I think it was Felix. He had brought his wife to hear Paul, and they said that Paul spoke about the judgment to come and the glory of the kingdom, and they said he had trembled, man. How much more now where they see these things popping off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. And he was that was 2,000 years ago. You know, actually more.
And now
he was scared then.
And now the chariots are showing up.
We going into slavery. You know, right? He's like the shit. I'm nervous.
That's it. Now you,
brother.
Go ahead.
This is James chapter 2, verse 19. Thou believest that there is one power, thou do as well. The devils also believe and tremble. Hey man, hey, they trembling, man. They know what's going on. They know they got a short time.
He's got that wrath.
12 and 12. That's right. He's coming down with great wrath, for he knows he has but a short time. He has the satellites pointing out to the outer reaches of outer space, and they've been seeing these massive planetary-sized chariots on top of thousands of chariots and chariots and chariots. They've created a whole space force.
I can't wait till they show up.
Right.
Yeah, and it's futile.
That's right.
Yeah, like
You know, it's funny.
Resistance is futile.
It's funny that you say that though, because like I said, they put stuff out there, and they use it as measuring sticks. Okay, they've got things out there.
I forget what they call it.
Right, but it's so wide that they know that if something passes in front of it, and it takes up the whole thing, it's got to be like 15, 18, 20 miles wide or whatever the case might be. And if we can go and pass in front of it and it's beyond that.
Yeah, it's like a ruler.
Exactly.
It's something that they put up there, and they keep the telescopes on it.
Exactly.
When something passes by it, they can say, "Oh, well, damn, this is a mile long."
Or it's 20 miles wide.
This is and so they know.
That's like the one that flew. They can't even get close.
A ship that's a mile long is a big ass ship.
Well,
15 miles long is crazy.
Right, when you got something that's 15 miles long and 10 miles high, you know that's a ginormous. But you know what? That's like there's a T-shirt that Elder Karat wears, man, the Death Star, and that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
Where do you think that comes from? You know,
the chariot that flew in front of the sun, they said it was 4 times the size of Earth.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was one that they saw.
You can build something like that.
Well, hey, the Lord said for
terrifying.
Yahushua said for my father's house there are many mansions, man. So we can only imagine, you know, what's in store, what's waiting for the elect
to block the sun.
When that day and that time comes, man, and the technology, and we're gonna have clean technology. You know?
Absolutely.
You know, we're gonna have clean technology, and we're gonna be so great a nation that the earth will no longer be able to hold us, man. All right?
That's right. And
like the earth is not going to be able to hold us. And why? And then the elect are actually going to go to those different places.
Got to be a summer spot in the
house. Our many mansions.
35th.
If it were not so, I would not have told you. In our Father's house, the Most High said He rideth upon the stars. I mean, He rideth upon the chariots in the heavens with 10,000s and thousands of His saints. So He said, "My Father's house are many mansions." You're talking about outer space. You're talking about the galaxies. You're talking about the Milky Way, and that's the one that's close by. You got you have billions and millions and millions. Matter of fact, what is it? Genesis 15:13. He said, "Go out, look at the stars." To Abraham, look at the stars. As you see the stars, so shall thy seed be. And not only in number,
so
how they're at.
So how are these people whose numbers so low? Right. People of the Lord. Right? Because you know, I've seen the sky.
And lose count in darkness.
When there's no light.
Absolutely.
It's light pollution. Yeah, when there's no lights, when no light pollution, man, it's actually amazing. Yeah. And I'll never forget it.
Billions.
Lights piled on top of each other. You can't even count them all. But the thing, like you said, the thing being what it is, and the lights being what they are, the way these people talk about, I got a summer home in the Hamptons. Hey, we got a spot that's 86 billion light years away. I'm going there.
When they go to
And we
You
check
know,
this
like my Amalekite client, they you know, they family, they go to Florida every winter from like I think they leave
Maine or something like that.
they leave next week or the week after,
Mhm.
and they won't be back until like, you know, the end of February.
Come.
crazy.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's like the movie Jupiter's Ascending. In that movie,
Yeah.
they said you humans, y'all argue over
You humans.
basically, you know, things about the earth and wars about oil. They said, look, we are rich. This the one. What's the one precious element was time. Because they don't have time to enjoy it all, but we're gonna live forever, man.
And time to enjoy all of
So
it.
we're gonna have time to actually be amazed at Yahweh Basham Shai's creation.
Hey,
All right.
if I may say real quick, because I was saying how I read that scripture, how my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways.
Uh-huh.
See, the ways of earthly mindset always comes victim to time.
Small.
And but the way of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai endureth forever. And that's why we're gonna be able to enjoy.
And check this out. Even Esau know that it's colors that these bodies can't see. Now, what they do is, I don't know if anybody know about the periodic table,
The spectrum.
the
Yep.
spectrum. So they use a prism, and when they shoot out the light, it comes back different colors, and that's how they know how different asteroids is iron, if it's gold, if it's this, because it'll come back on a spectrum.
Now,
But they say it's light that come back
out of spectrum.
White.
It's
It's
out of spectrum. Yep.
So there's colors that they
You can't even see
that
it.
they can't even
We'll be able to see it though.
Right, we'll be in the kingdom. You know, everything we're gonna have new bodies, man. Green is gonna be more green in death. Everything is gonna be basically like HD.
The smells,
you know,
man,
Absolutely.
no aches and pains, no burning shoulders. This
Being able to hear a hummingbird.
And we gonna be able to taste the food, man. Could you imagine what a cherry's gonna take, man? What a
real
grape,
cherry.
what a grape's gonna take.
It took two mighty men to carry a bushel of grapes, man. It took two mighty men.
What a pomegranate is gonna taste like.
Oh,
you know what it's what it's gonna smell like.
A real banana.
You know,
no chemistry.
A real banana.
I've never had one.
Man, what a clean woman is gonna smell like. Gonna feel
clean. That's
A clean. Vegemite.
You know,
Clean woman.
Man.
Get the last scriptures. We gonna wrap it up.
See, but this, while they're getting the scriptures, this is what the righteous are hoping for.
Exactly.
We're hoping for something better than this. If you see the picture that's on the screen,
This is what you see when you're in the absolute darkness.
And on the big screen, it's not even doing it justice.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's different, and I've seen this. You know, I've had the honor and the pleasure of seeing the sky look like that, man.
especially
And
back
that's
in
what
the
it
days,
is.
man.
You know,
The light pollution's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, it's
Growing up,
well, the
we used
sky
to see
once
it.
upon a time
Yes.
looked like that in America, but you can't see it anymore because of the light pollution.
Perfect. That's right.
Exactly. In absolute darkness, this is what you see.
Any closing scriptures? I'm going to comment.
This Hebrews 11 and 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and that's where we at with it, man. This ain't our rest, man. We looking to get delivered out of this place, man.
Fuck this place.
The Lord made a promise. You know, He told Abraham, as the stars are, so should I see be. So we're looking forward to that, man. We're looking forward to the new heavens and the new earth, man. I'm gonna keep going. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country that is in heavenly. Wherefore the Most High is not ashamed because their power. That's right. But He has prepared for them a city. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking for a place prepared by our Lord, man.
That's it.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness. This shit is hell.
That's right.
Are you people are fucking depressed, medicated, hurt, through, don't know where the next nothing is coming from.
Begging for crumbs, man.
And because you can please your flesh and get a moment of your flesh doing some bullshit through wickedness, you still accept this devil and love this devil. Meanwhile, everything about this place is fucking you over, man. You going from relationship to relationship, All right, all type of physical pain. You got to worry about your children growing up and just being the worst, the next worst degenerate. All right, and you still love this place because you get to do some wicked shit. Because you can go to the club. All right.
See, they don't know the ancient world.
Well, not until this second lockdown come down.
Exactly, and it's going to be
all
worse.
all that's about to end, man.
And he already put it in the Sun Times today. I'm at the store out there by Rolla, and I'm looking at the caption, and it said, "Yeah, all the new strains of the vid is going to be worse, and lockdowns might be coming back." Don't think Esau finished, man. All right, according to the scriptures, according to the prophecies, he's going to come down, cracking down harder than he did before, man.
And when he does, these people are going to lose it, man. They're not. America can't survive another lockdown. You already got people. You got people who got the HIV as a result of this.
Yep.
You got the sudden adult death syndrome as a result of this. Yep. You're gonna have a lot of angry people that are gonna start lashing out at medical experts and things of that nature.
And December 13th is 2 weeks away,
and that's coming too. So these people are buying up guns like crazy. They're buying up bullets like crazy. The government's buying up guns and bullets. It's
gonna be dicey.
It's gonna be right. And we coming down to those last couple days before the diesel fuel runs out too.
That's right.
And it gets crucial.
Can I read a couple of these real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Just read a couple of these. Kazak, Banya, Howard, and Daniel in 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Howard Shai, now at Psalms 33:11. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Psalms 33:12. Blessed is the nation whose God is Yahweh, and the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. Colossians 3:2. Set your affections on things above, not on things of this earth.
This shit
Psalms 33:10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. And that's heavy because all that they've done to keep us not knowing this truth is now it's all. You can't stop us. You can't call us blacks no more.
Waste all that money.
It's done.
All that time.
Billions of dollars.
Bob said it. He said that the elders, when they first really started going and teaching, Esau rolled up them out of a limousine saying, "Where the fuck have you got this information? We spent billions of dollars to hide it. It's this done." The truth of the Lord grows exponentially. Right? Just as you have the wickedness and have their virus run exponentially, you get a cold, and next thing you know, everybody got a cold, next thing everybody's sick. Well, the truth has that same effect, all right, upon the righteous.
Ain't that what Ezra said? All this wickedness and how has it grown? Well, look at how the righteous got it grown.
This is second Ezra.
This is Habakkuk 2. And before it gets to the point, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh as the waters cover the sea. So this truth wasn't going to be hidden forever, man. That was impossible. And the Lord said he hid himself for a small moment.
And look, there was just a mass shooting in Walmart.
Which one? Headshot?
We just talked about how the shit was going to go crazy, and this popped up.
Virginia.
I don't know where it was. Hold on. This was Virginia.
Yeah.
And there was also just a mother of three that just got shot in front of her teenage son in a manor.
Smoke!
Hey, see, and this is what's coming down. There's going to be a lot of judgment coming down. Keisha done, but guess what? The 2/3 are done. The heathens are done. If you're wicked, you're done. The Most High is lifted up. It's a matter of time, man.
It's coming.
And you know how the apostles used to say early back in the day, Babylon is circling the drain. Man, we at the stage now. We ain't in the circling space. We when he's starting to gurgle and gargle.
Ain't enough water for it to gurgle no more.
That's where we at right now. And we're coming to the point where December 13th, the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, is about to be put in effect on top of them pushing out. Now they're putting more and more in the news. Wuhan, they locking down people. They're rioting. They're about we don't bring them down.
Rioting, and
Wuhan again.
And it's happening in a couple other places.
Yes. So it's about to go down again, and Jake is zippity doo dah, zippity my oh my, what a wonderful day.
My oh my, I want to go buy some new J's.
That's
They think everything gonna be all right, man. It's not.
Hey,
It ain't gonna be all right.
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? You know, it is not gonna be all right, man. So with that, man, we gonna give all praises, all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Kakwadash, Abba.
That's right. Turn those machines back on. It's going to the family coming.